Yo, what is good, everybody, and welcome to today's trade recap of the day. Today is Wednesday, September 24th. I did end up taking two losses today. I don't think either trade was really a bad trade. My bias was correct. There was some slight errors that I could correct in the future, but nothing majorly bad. No like major execution errors or anything like that. So I'm gonna basically go over why I had the bias I did today and what I could have done to correct those losses. All right, so here we are on the 1 minute time frame. This is just after 9:30. This is 9:44. As you can see, the 9:30 candle did come up, sweeping this intermediate term high. If you don't know what that is, there's a 15-minute fair value gap here, and this was the high inside of it, so that makes it an intermediate term high. So that could be a place where price could want to reverse from. As you can see, it did today. So we came up 9:30 candle, swept that intermediate term high, and then moved lower. So we did end up opening up this 5-minute fair value gap right here, which I would have shorted off of if we were to get a tap into it. We had taken out London here, and we had not taken out London at the time on ES. So there was an SMT, but we had Asia and a sell side liquidity pool sitting below us on ES and NQ. So I was still bearish at this point. If you check on the higher time frame, hourly, we are delivering from this 1 hour bearish fair value gap, and we had inverted this 4 hour bullish fair value gap and this 4 hour bullish fair value gap. As you can see, it is a pretty bearish looking chart, and then we do have some very low resistance targets to hit. So let me play this out. As you can see, we did not tap that 5-minute. As I said before, we created another 5-minute right here, which is where I took my first loss from. Let me show you that. So we did end up coming up. Oh, not yet. So right there, we did end up coming up into the 5-minute and creating a 30-second fair value gap right here. So you see on the 5-minute chart, we're tapping into that 5-minute. At this point, we did invert the gap in 2 candles, so it wasn't instant, but it was pretty quick. So from right here, I was looking to short to hit this sell side liquidity pool. As you see, we did come down and create a relative equal low with this sell side liquidity pool here. And we had not taken it at the time on ES either. And ES did take out the SMT that we had with London and took out Asia like NQ did. So from this point, I felt like this was a good trade. What I did not consider here is that there was a 15-minute fair value gap that opened up above us. I did not consider this at the time, and that would be the only error I would say with this trade. Although we still did have a good manipulation into the 5-minute and a 30-second inversion out of it, which is why it wasn't really a bad trade per se, but I could have been more conservative and waited for that 15-minute fair value gap. There was a little bit of distance separating the 5-minute and 15-minute, so I'll actually just mark out the 5-minute here. So that is our 5-minute fair value gap. And as you can see on the 30-second, we did end up tapping into it very clean reaction out of it. We did get a decent reaction at first, came down, and then just instantly stopped me out. So at this point, I was like, okay, went to the higher time frame, saw the 15-minute, and then, okay, I realized my error. So let me go to the 1 minute. So as you can see on the 1 minute, we create this very clean fair value gap, tap in to the 15-minute, and then literally perfect inversion to the downside. This is literally like the most V-shaped thing I might have ever seen in my life. Like, it's pretty much perfect, just barely tapping in to that fair value gap. And yeah, I mean, I feel like this was a pretty good trade. Like, I would take this 100 times more. My issue, which it's correctable, but at the same time, it's like very, 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 very unfortunate, and this will not happen a lot of the time. But let me just play it out and show you. So we just miss my break-even point, okay? We just miss it. Look at the stop out right here, okay? So I could have put my stop loss this wick high, but I put it on this high right here, okay? this candle had a fair value gap, so a lot of times when you're taking trades, you could put your stop high probability placed where it won't hit is the high of the candle that has that is the fair value gap. So yeah, I mean, I took the trade, got stopped out by literally one and a half points, 6 ticks. And then price did end up going down where I would have been taking out break even anyways. So I hit my break even and then came out. I would have been stopped out break even there. I believe at this point right now, maybe it played out. So this is live, so it still hasn't played out. Yeah, this price action is pretty buns, to be fair. So that's why I'm not really too pissed about this loss. It's obviously very unfortunate that I got stopped out by 1 tick here because I lost an additional 250 where I would have just been down, I believe it was like 165 from the first trade. First trade, like this is a 1 to 1.4 R. This is a 1 to 2.7 R, so I feel like it was smart to like take a little bit lower risk on this trade. Because the profit still would have been obviously very, very good. And the probability of this hitting is not quite the same as the probability of this hitting. So, yeah, with all that being said, that is the 2 losses that I took today. Those are the reasons why. Neither were bad trades. Mechanically, both are very good trades. Overall, with bias and everything, I would say both were good trades. This one right here was A+. This was just very unfortunate. This is maybe a B plus setup because we were manipulating into that 5 minute and because I didn't notice the 15 minute on top of us. But these will play out a lot of the time, especially when we're falling, like we're very bearish here, like we're displacing fast. And then we have this obvious target that we just created a relative equal low with. So when this happens, normally those B setups, quote unquote, do play out. But yeah, that's the reasoning. That's what happened. I'm sure we're going to come back from this. Losses just contribute to the winning statistic. So like if you have a 70% win rate model, just hit TP. If you have a 70% win rate model, and right now, in the last couple weeks, I'm definitely higher than a 70% win rate. It makes sense. Like the losses have to come to balance out your winning statistics. So let's say that brings my win rate down to like 65 or whatever. And then when I roll my next trade, it brings me back up to like 70, 75. Yeah, it's normal. And this stuff happens. And the important thing is that I managed risk correctly. And that I took good setups. So if I continue to do this, the profit will come in. And that's what I want anyone watching this to take away from this video. Losses do happen. Sometimes they could be very unfortunate. Sometimes they could literally take you out by 1 point. But, I mean, if you watch my videos that I have posted on my channel right now, you can basically see this is, I think, the only video since I started posting that is a losing video. So, yeah, it just it happens, but I will come back from this. You can come back from this. It's very, 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 very common.